Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan Yates, conductor of the Norwalk Symphony Orchestra. How many of you have been to an orchestra concert? Maybe you've been to the Norwalk Symphony. We play in that gorgeous auditorium right at Norwalk City Hall. Do you know what a conductor does? Let me show you a clip of one of my favorite conductors, Leonard Bernstein. Can you see why I do that? How much fun does that look like? You get to wave your arms like crazy in front of an orchestra and everybody loves it. Now, okay, it's not that simple. And I'm going to show you later what conductors really do and how to do it yourself. But first of all, what is an orchestra? It's a large group of instrumental musicians, a team that comes together to make beautiful, inspiring music together. And it's divided up into 4 families. Now, I hear some of you have been studying Peter and the Wolf, and I bet you already know all 4 of those families. Let's find out. Here's the first one. That's right, those are the strings. To me, they are the sweetest sounding instruments in the entire orchestra, which is why I think Prokofiev, who wrote Peter and the Wolf, has chosen them to represent our boy hero Peter. Now, why are they called the strings? Right again, it's because they each have 4 strings on them, which you play with a bow. And what are the different members of the family? Violin, viola, cello, bass. And do you notice that they each kind of look the same but just keep getting bigger? That's absolutely right. Now what happens when they get bigger? The sound gets lower. And why is that? Let me show you. So, I have a rubber band here. You can do this at home with your parents' help. I stretch it out and I pluck it. I try it again. It makes a sound. Now I pinch it and I pluck it once more, and it makes a higher sound. Let me demonstrate again. Low pitch, higher pitch. Why is that? Well, when you either pluck or play a string, it creates a sound wave. And if the string is short, it creates a sound wave that vibrates really quick, and that makes a high sound. If you play a string that is longer, it creates a slower sound wave, and that creates a sound that is lower. Ta-da! So now let's move on to our next group. So they're having a blast, right? What are those instruments called? Brass. Exactly. And why? Well, they're made of brass. And what are the different types from smallest to largest? Trumpet, horn, trombone, tuba. Now, just like string instruments, the larger they get, the lower they get, because longer sound waves vibrate more slowly. Now, these guys are the powerhouses of the orchestra. No wonder that Prokofiev chose them to represent the scary, scary wolf. And on to the next family. Who are these crazy guys? The winds. And why are they called woodwinds? Because they all blow into their instruments, and they used to be made of wood. Now, in the woodwinds, more than the strings or the brass, the individual instruments really have different colors. So that's why Prokofiev gave them each their own character in his piece. We have the flirty flute representing the bird. The opinionated oboe representing the duck. The coy clarinet representing the cat. And the blustering bassoon representing the grandfather. And finally, look at these wild guys. Who are those? Percussion. There are so many different types of percussion instruments because if you make a sound by hitting it, that is in fact a percussion instrument and they make so much noise. Of course, Prokofiev picked them in Peter and the Wolf to be the hunter. They're so loud. Now, back to the conductor. So yes, he or she waves their arms in front of an orchestra, but why? It's actually to organize what everyone is doing into a vision of what we think the composer of a piece wants from the orchestra. Now, a lot of what the conductor does is actually in rehearsal, really sharing his or her ideas for a piece, but a lot of what she or he does is with her hands and their body. And I'm going to show you all how to do that, but first I want to show you just how personal conducting is and how much it differs from conductor to conductor. So we started with Leonard Bernstein. Let's check in with him again. Doesn't it look like he's always just having the best time? He is what we call a very physical conductor. He throws his whole body into it. But the thing is, that's not the only great way to conduct. Let's look at another wonderful conductor, Leopold Stokowski. He's barely moving. Now, he's not a young guy, but it shows that a great artist can do so much without having to do much at all. The thing is, when you conduct, or when you play an instrument, you get to express something very deep in yourself. And that's why every player looks so different from each other. Have you also seen how much fun they're all having? If you get really good at your instrument, you are going to get to have so much fun. We have shown you a bunch of different instruments today, and I hear many of you are about to pick the instruments you are going to play. Over the next few weeks, we're going to have different members of the Norwalk Symphony go into greater detail about their instruments, so you're really going to get to know them all. Also, we're sending you the links to the full versions of these pieces you've seen today in case you want to watch any of them with your parents. Now, it is time for you to learn how to conduct. So now, we are going to learn how to conduct. How exciting is that? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is teach you how to conduct a beat pattern. Because here's the thing. All music is organized into different groups of beats. Sometimes it's organized into groups of 2 beats, sometimes 3 beats, sometimes 4 beats, sometimes 11 beats. But the most common kind of pattern, bars come in groups of 4. So I'm going to teach you how to conduct a beat pattern in 4. So ready? Bring your arm up. Bring it higher up, and then drop, left, right, up, drop, left, right, up. You're doing this with me. Left, right, up, drop, left, right, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way to go! You are conducting. How great is that? Now, there are a number of different things that you can do with your hands as a conductor. One of the most basic things that you can do is tempo. Tempo is basically Italian for speed. How fast or how slow something goes. Now, what you do is the slower something goes, the more space the pattern has to take up, right? So watch. We're going to start with something very slow. Ready? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we speed up, we're going to take up less and less space. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And by the end, we're just going to move our wrists. Try it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! So a lot of times, people think that when the bigger you go, it means that you're going to be conducting louder. In fact, no. Because look how ridiculous I look when I try to conduct big and fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It made me cough. It's so silly. Now, I gave away the next thing that I'm going to teach you, which is, in fact, how to conduct with dynamics. What I mean by dynamics is conduct loud or conduct soft. And in reality, you can all do all the kind of gradations in the middle, too. Now, this is all about the intensity you bring to the pattern. So if I want to conduct loud, I bring a lot of intensity, which is something that comes rather naturally to me. So, here we go. Big, ferocious conducting. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you want to play loud? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah! Great. Now, if we want to conduct soft or piano, because we use Italian for directions in music, we just totally ease up. And we just think about conducting, say, inside of a pillow. Ready? So, and it doesn't matter how slow we go or how fast we go, we're going to be super laid back. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can conduct soft and fast, too. Ready? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. You are all stars. Now, another thing we can do with our hands, we can do what's something called articulation, by which I mean the length of the notes that we would be conducting. We can do legato, which is very smooth. We can do staccato, which is short. So let's try both. And to do a legato pattern, you want it to be really flowy, and even like some nice figure eights. So let's do a nice smooth 4/4. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, isn't it? Doesn't that feel great? Connect. Just connect everything with your arms. Yes. Beautiful. Now, staccato is the opposite. Super duper jagged short motions. Ready? Go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? This feels very short. Does it not? And we can do it fast. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or slow. 2, 3, 4. And the same with legato. Super slow. Or super fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super smooth. Great! So congratulations, everyone, on becoming such exceptional conductors. I hope you've learned a lot today. I hope you've had a lot of fun. The Norwalk Symphony will be back next week with more educational content with the wonderful wind players of our orchestra. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and I hope to see you at the Symphony sometime soon. Bye-bye.